Today, February 23, 2025, Germany stands at a pivotal moment. As millions of citizens head to the polls in a snap general election that could reshape the nation's political landscape. With the stakes higher than ever, the political atmosphere is charged with uncertainty, and the entire world is watching closely. This election comes as a result of a political crisis that unfolded late last year. In November 2024, Chancellor Olaf Scholz dismissed Finance Minister Christian Lindner, a move that sent shockwaves through the governing coalition. Shortly after, Scholz lost a vote of confidence, leading to the collapse of his government and triggering these early parliamentary elections. The German people now have the responsibility of determining the next leader, who will guide the country through turbulent economic and political challenges. Leading the race is Friedrich Merz of the Christian Democratic Union, CDU, a party historically known for its center-right stance, and once led by former Chancellor Angela Merkel. Merz has long been a significant figure in German politics, though he stepped away for a time to work in the corporate sector. His return has been marked by a strong push for stricter immigration policies and economic reforms. His supporters see him as a leader who will bring Germany back to stability, while his critics argue that his approach leans too heavily toward appeasing the far right. His controversial move to seek support from Alternative for Germany, AfD, to pass stricter immigration laws in the Bundestag further fueled debates about whether the CDU is willing to collaborate with the far-right party. Meanwhile, Alternative for Germany, AfD, led by Alice Weidel, has surged in the polls, making this election unprecedented. If projections hold, the AfD is poised to become the second-largest political force in the country, marking the first time a far-right party has gained such prominence in Germany since the Nazi era. Weidel's campaign has focused heavily on anti-immigration rhetoric, coining the term remigration, a term with troubling historical connotations. The party's rise has led to mass protests across German cities, with citizens expressing concerns over the potential consequences of a nationalist government. On the other hand, Chancellor Olaf Scholz and his Social Democratic Party, SPD, are projected to suffer a significant defeat. Having led the government since 2021, Scholz entered office with high hopes, but his administration has been plagued by internal disputes and economic stagnation. Many Germans feel that his coalition government, which included the Greens and the Free Democrats, failed to deliver on its promises. With the SPD polling around 15%, they now find themselves in an unexpected battle for third place with the Green Party. Robert Habeck, the Green Party's candidate for chancellor and Germany's current economics minister, remains a key figure in this election. The Greens are unlikely to secure enough votes to lead, but they could play a major role in shaping the next government. As coalition partners, their environmental policies, combined with a pro-European stance, appeal to a younger demographic. But concerns about Germany's economic downturn may limit their influence beyond the personalities and party politics. This election is ultimately being decided on two major issues: immigration and the economy. The issue of mass migration has become a dominant talking point, largely due to recent attacks allegedly carried out by asylum seekers. The debate has been further inflamed by political leaders using the crisis to rally voter support. Friedrich Merz has capitalized on this issue, positioning himself as the candidate who Who will take decisive action? Olaf Scholz. In an effort to regain favor, introduced new border controls with neighboring European nations, a move many saw as an attempt to sway voters who were considering shifting toward AfD. The second critical issue is Germany's economy. Once considered the powerhouse of Europe, Germany has experienced 2 consecutive years of economic contraction, with GDP shrinking by 0.2% in 2024, following a 0.3% contraction in 2023. A combination of factors, including the ongoing war in Ukraine, increased competition from China in the automotive sector, and growing tensions with a possible Trump-led U.S. administration, has left Germany in a precarious financial state. The country's famed automotive industry, which includes giants like Volkswagen, is facing mass layoffs and factory closures, raising concerns about long-term economic stability. As the votes are cast, one of the biggest questions remains: what will the next German government look like? Given the fragmented nature of German politics, a coalition government is inevitable. The CDU, despite leading the polls, will need to find partners to form a majority. One likely scenario is a CDU-Green coalition, which could bring stability while balancing conservative economic policies with progressive environmental initiatives. However, tensions remain high over Merz's past willingness to work with AfD, an alliance that remains a major taboo in German politics. What is certain is that AfD will not be part of any ruling coalition, despite their growing influence. All major parties have ruled out working with them. This leaves the possibility of another traffic light coalition: SPD, Greens, and Free Democrats. But given the decline in SPD's support, this option seems increasingly unlikely. A CDU-SPD coalition, known as a Grand Coalition, is also on the table, though it remains to be seen whether the two parties can overcome their deep-seated differences. Beyond Germany, the results of this election will have significant global implications. As the European Union's largest economy, Germany's stance on issues such as immigration, trade, and defense will shape EU policy for years to come. Furthermore, with growing uncertainty in US-Germany relations, particularly if Donald Trump returns to power, in the US, Berlin's new leadership will have to navigate a shifting global landscape with caution. As the polls close and votes are counted, Germany stands at the brink of a new political era. The choices made today will set the country's course for years to come. Will Friedrich Merz and the CDU take the reins and steer the country back to economic growth? Will the rise of the AfD lead to further division within German society? Or will Olaf Scholz and the SPD manage to pull off a political comeback? One thing is clear: Germany's next government will not emerge overnight. Coalition negotiations could take weeks or even months, leaving the nation in a state of political uncertainty. Until then, the world watches as Germany, one of Europe's most influential nations, takes a decisive step into its future.